Hey everyone, welcome to another video. In this video, I share with you an update on my injury and how I'm dealing with it. I'm currently 5 days in, 5 days in, and I want to talk about some of the good things that I feel I've been doing that have helped me with my progression and healing, and then some of the areas of this injury that are just sort of difficult to deal with. First off, the good things. One thing that's been really good for me is how much I've been sleeping. I've been really prioritizing my sleep, which has been tough to do given that I have a lot of stuff to do for school right now, but I realize how important it is, and so I've been sleeping between 8 and 9 hours every day, and that's really helped me. I noticed actually each day, but especially the night before yesterday morning, so that would be Wednesday night injured on Sunday, I woke up after a full 9-hour night's sleep and it felt a lot better. Like, it became more mobile. It felt almost as if the hydroxyapatite on the bone, which is what works with deconstruction and reformation of bone, had finally almost like found a connection between the two pieces that had initially severed. It felt much more stable. My pain was a little bit lower, and it just felt more manageable. In addition, I've been really focusing on keeping inflammation to a minimum. Sleep is a big part of that. Hydration is another big part of that. And I've also been going with the restricted eating window or intermittent fasting that Rhonda Patrick talked about on Joe Rogan's podcast. I think it was episode 903-ish, where she talked about that specifically. In addition, that's also found just in a bunch of other places online, but it's been really beneficial for me to restrict my feeding window and allow my body more time to work through and work with what it has going on. I've seen a lot of benefit from it, and I'm offering that to you. In addition, I've been really focusing on keeping my carbohydrate intake to a minimum, keeping protein at a significant or an adequate level, probably about 100 grams a day or so, which is tough to do if you eat a primarily plant-based diet like I do. I'll touch on that more. But I've also been really high fat, so a lot of olive oil, a lot of nuts, the occasional seeds, but trying to stay higher on omega-3s, coconut oil as well, even though that's omega-6, but it's lauric acid, which is beneficial, as well as MCTs. So I've been really high fat. That's helped keep my inflammation down while still giving me enough calories where I feel like I'm not withering away. And in addition, I've been adding in foods like salmon and eggs that are up to the quality standards that I have for my purchasing. And in addition to that, actually, on the first day of my injury, when I was at my dad's house, I also had an organic chicken breast for lunch and some organic local grass-fed beef for dinner. So I found it important to up the meat intake in my diet during this week and the animal product intake because there are a lot of micronutrients within those that help with sort of developing the minute parts of the body. Things like the bone, like the magnesium and the calcium that are in those products, as well as things like the tendons and the tension in your body that need collagen to build them. So, as well as the omega-3s in the fish and the cholesterol within the egg, which is important for cell function. All these things. Now, I still made sure all those products were up to my ethical standards and environmental standards, which they were, which I'm very happy about, and I highly recommend purchasing that way if you can afford to do so. Or at least that's what I'm doing. And I saw a lot of benefit from that as well. It's kind of tough for me to tie aspects of what I'm doing to their benefits because I'm just doing multiple things and seeing how I feel. But that was something that I've also done that I believe adds value. In addition, I've been taking CBDs consistently. In the previous video, I talk about how helpful that is. In my healing from an illness video, I talk about it extensively. That was with regard to swollen lymph nodes, but it's been really helpful for me. One other thing I've been doing, and this will sort of get into the parts of this that have been tough, is that I've been doing the Wim Hof method, morning and evening. The reason I've been doing the Wim Hof method is because I don't have another way to get my heart rate up and to really pump blood in an efficient way like I would normally do through extraneous strenuous exercise. There's some things I can do, like small movements with my legs and hips, one-legged movements as well, where I'm bracing against a bar. These are things I found out recently that work, just trying to explore my own yoga abilities with this injury, but none of those things are cardiovascularly intensive. So to get my heart rate up, I've been doing the Wim Hof method. I've seen a lot of benefit from that, just because normally if I don't work out for more than 3 or 4 days, I start to get foggy headed, honestly become less grateful, less positive attitude, less positive generally, and so I've been trying to keep that up as well as I can, knowing that I can't necessarily crush a workout right now. So the Wim Hof method's been really helpful for me. Other than that, other things that have been kind of tough is that everything just takes twice as long. I mean, people don't really tell you about it. You expect certain things to be tough, like having to write, either moving something under your hand, writing with your left hand. Putting on a shirt is definitely a tough thing that people know about and talk about. And just the general staying positive when you're dealing with fairly constant pain. But the things that people don't talk about is that literally every little thing takes twice to even 3 times as long, because I can only set things up with this hand. It's helpful that I've been practicing eating with just my left hand before. I mentioned that in one of my first 2 vlog videos. You can go and check those out. But I have to eat everything with my left hand as well. And the end of a salad's pretty difficult with that. I actually end up kind of like scooting food together with my right hand and then eating it with the left. But in addition, things like taking out my laptop out of my backpack for class, or putting things away at the end of class, or even walking, because I can't walk as quickly as I normally do because I don't want to bounce this up and down because it puts tension on my trap. These are all things that people don't talk about really with injuries that are difficult aspects, and it's part of what makes dealing with this so tough. That said, I'm just simply allocating more time to those, and I'm realizing that I just can't get as much done in the day as I would if I were completely healthy. And I'm accepting that and moving forward with that. In addition, this injury has been pretty eye-opening to me, just in terms of, it's almost hard to put into words, but it's a new feeling of who I am. It's that I was at a really high point prior to this injury, and I was high, and then an instant drop off. That's tough, very tough, and it made me sort of reconstruct who I am and the values of myself that I really see. It's great to be able to do all these external things and really push forward in a lot of external egoic but not negatively connotated egoic endeavors. But at the same time, the real me is the one that can sit and reflect and be with myself. And I've gotten more in touch with that through this. I'm coming out of this a new individual, even though I'm only 5 days in. I'm excited to see where the rest of this probably 5-week journey or so will go. I'll keep you updated, but for now, that's the trend of where things are going. Thanks so much for watching this video. Peace.